Hey guys, Sean here and welcome to the F1 Word. Now, something that crops up a lot in the comments section to any videos where I've spoken about Charles Leclerc is the word overrated. There are a fair few of you out there who believe that he is, and I'd imagine there are already people posting that before even watching the video. But is he really overrated? For me, no, he is not overrated, he is overhyped. And yes, I'll hold my hands up and admit that I am one of those who has a tendency to hype him up. Surely though, people can understand why that hype is there. His rise to F1 was seriously impressive, and it wasn't all about F2 either. He showed the talent he has all the way through his junior career, right from his days in Formula Renault 2.0. He won the GP3 title pretty impressively as well, beating Alex Albon by 25 points in the end. So there was never any doubt in his ability from my view. The only question after he breezed to the F2 title in 2017 was could he hack F1? Yes, it's as simple as that. He was up against a much more experienced teammate and blitzed him. Alright, Marcus Ericsson is probably not seen as much of a benchmark as some, but come on, credit where credit's due for a rookie. He did have a shaky start to the year as we've discussed before, but he bounced back from that pretty quickly and demonstrated some seriously good speed, some good racecraft and some great consistency. He ended the season in 13th place after taking 10 points finishes, yet for whatever reason, that isn't enough for some people. No word of a lie, I've actually seen some comments and some posts on social media saying ridiculous things like, oh, he's overrated, hasn't even won a race or been on the podium. Now, I can only assume that these posts are from people who don't understand Formula 1. Of course he hasn't won a race. He was driving a Sauber, for God's sake, wake up. I'd imagine at this point the term fanboy is going to get thrown my way, but that's absolutely fine. It's not the case at all. I'm just not blind to his clear and obvious talent and his ability, but anyway. Another reason I say he's overhyped is because of this belief from some that he will rock up in that Ferrari and destroy Sebastian Vettel. I just don't see that happening. Sure, he's incredibly talented, has the potential to be very special. And on a side note, by the way, I cannot wait to see the battles between him and Max Verstappen over the next few years. We're in for a treat. But it's Leclerc's first season at the Scuderia and only his second in the sport. Leaving Sauber means that he's going to go from a very low-pressure environment to an incredibly high-pressure environment where there is absolutely nowhere to hide. I mean, Charles said in a recent interview that he doesn't feel that pressure and that the support he is getting makes him happy. Still though, that's a lot for him to take on his shoulders so early in his career. I stand by what I've said since he was announced as Vettel's teammate. I absolutely think he deserves the opportunity he's been given. However, I do worry it's too soon. I would have much rather seen him complete a second season at Sauber. Some might even say that a move to Haas and then a move to Ferrari would have been a good route to take. But I really do think a second season at Sauber, somewhere he is already settled, would have made a lot of sense. No real pressure, more time to learn and to develop. Ferrari could have kept Kimi on for one more year, seen how Leclerc was getting on, and then made a call towards the end of 2019. If Leclerc still wasn't ready, I'm pretty sure Kimi could have stuck around for another year. As it is now though, he's being thrust right into the limelight, and every single tiny mistake he makes will be scrutinised, and as talented as I know he is, he will of course make mistakes. That is almost an inevitability. And when he does, there will be so many people there ready to tear him down. Again though, it's only his second season in the sport, and Ferrari want drivers who can deliver and do a job for them. There's a lot of pressure there. There's already a lot of talk about whether or not he will be the long-term option for the Scuderia, a driver to really build the team around, as they did with Michael Schumacher of course. Obvious statement alert, a lot of that depends on how he matches up to Vettel, but also on how the German performs. Look, I know there are those out there that think that Seb is in his last year at Ferrari if he doesn't deliver, but I still think he'll be there come the end of 2020, and that's regardless of what happens this year. There aren't many options out there for him or Ferrari really, maybe Giovinazzi, but that'll all come down to how he gets on. And are they really going to put all their eggs in one basket and back Leclerc as number one driver after just one season with the team? That would be a huge gamble and I'd be very surprised. What happens after 2020 though is anybody's guess. Actually, there were quite a few obvious statements there, but there's no other way to put all of that really. Ultimately, it's a lot of ifs and buts, and it's way too early to tell. I guess whilst I'm doing a video on Leclerc, I suppose we should talk about his 2019 and what would be a good season for him. In all honesty, I feel like just being close to Vettel will be enough. Maybe within something like 50 points would be good. It won't just come down to points, of course, though. It'll be about how he performs in terms of consistency. Charles himself has targeted 2 race wins for 2019, and that really does show how realistic he's being ahead of this coming season. However, and maybe I'm alone on this one, I can't help but feel that's a little bit on the conservative side. If that Ferrari is as good as it was at the start of 2018, and he gets up to speed quickly enough, I reckon you could double that. Look, I like Leclerc as a person and as a driver. He showed us all what he can do in 2018 and has now been given one hell of an opportunity. Whilst, as I've said already in this video, I have my concerns about the step up to Ferrari so quickly, I also have absolutely no doubt that he will deliver for them. We were talking about this during Sunday's livestream actually, and Jonty believes he'll be right on the pace, and I hope that he is, because that could potentially set us up for a great season. But I don't think it really matters if he takes 1, 2, 3, 4 races to find his feet. Inevitably that will lead to pressure and he can't really spend too long getting up to speed, but he will get there. I just really hope Ferrari allow him that time. I suppose though, thinking about it, if they weren't willing to be patient, they wouldn't have promoted him in the first place. I'm going to end by reiterating what I said at the start of this video and answering the question I put forward. In my personal opinion, Charles Leclerc is not overrated at all. Your view may differ, but having watched him from the start of his junior career, his talent is clear and obvious, as was also demonstrated last season. However, he is massively overhyped and, as I've already admitted, although I'm one of those guilty of hyping him up quite a lot, perhaps we do all need to just calm down a little bit and just wait and see what he does in that Ferrari this season. That is it for this video then, and in the comments section down below, let me know your thoughts on Charles Leclerc. Are you one of those who thinks he is overrated, or do you perhaps think that all the hype is justified? And what are you expecting from him in 2019? Now, I will be back soon with more content as ever, but in the meantime, you can follow me over on social media. Links to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and of course to Discord are all in the description down below. But as ever, thank you for watching. I've been Sean, this has been the F1 Word, and until next time, goodbye.